I am currently outside of Blenheim Palace. I'm not able to get the perfect view of it right now, but I do plan to visit tomorrow, so maybe I will record some shots and tag them at the end of this video. I am shaking the camera a bit, but I am currently just walking and exploring the public grounds. It's very serene and tranquil. There are some construction works going on as well. That does, affect the noise a bit, but that is just stunning right there. And that is nature. Right, so back to me. Here's a bit of a mess, I do apologise. It's the weather. So the topic of this free flow talk is essentially how to differentiate from ego and self-concept. How do we know when we are operating from ego? And how do we know that we are building a very strong, reliable self-concept? And it's simple. Hopefully this is a short talk in the sense of I get my idea across. Are you in the need or feeling the need to compare yourself to other people? Are you operating from a mindset where you are constantly competing with other people? You're competitive. Because if so, you are placing your focus outside of yourself. That cannot be what self-concept is. In fact, self-concept isn't that. I'm just going to show more of this wonderful view here. Oh, wow. There's a little island as well. But truly, a self-concept is literally building a foundation in yourself that you do not need to seek outside of you. It is all from within. And you remain firm in that ground whilst the whole world moves around you. Everything is changing so fast. Nothing ever stays the same except for your soul. You as consciousness, except for you. You know who you are. Well, that is the journey at least anyway. And you just remain grounded in your identity and who you want to be. If you feel like you have to keep changing yourself because you've seen someone else do something and you feel like you have to replicate to that because you think from your point of view that they're successful, and if you replicate it, you will achieve those exact same means, then you are only falling into that trap of just constantly going in cycles, seeking things outside of you to fill a void within yourself or to feel something better than what you're already feeling. And I'm here to say that that is just not going to ever be sustainable or work in the long term, because you are chasing shadows of yourself. Ultimately, if I believe that we are consciousness dreaming, if you are the dreamer in your dream and you are chasing the reflections or the characters in your dream that is essentially coming from your consciousness, that it's coming from you, then you are chasing shadows. You are not them and they are not you. And I say that at a lower state of consciousness. Obviously, ultimately, if you are dreaming it all, then they are you. But it's knowing when to operate at different states of consciousness appropriately to experience the things you want to experience. How do I explain that or articulate that better? I have no idea, but I will try. I will keep trying. You don't want to remain at one state of consciousness throughout your human experience. You don't want to when you're playing a game, I'm going to give a little example. I'm not much of a gamer, but I have played the first Spider-Man game on the PS5, and I've played the Arkham games. Here, I'm going to take a seat here. And I know I'm the player, and I know the game's not real, and I'm not Spider-Man or Batman. But when I'm in the zone of playing, that's not something I want to be thinking about. I'm trying to be this character, be Spider-Man, swing through the buildings of New York City and do those missions that I'm in need to complete to get to the next level or get the game currency or whatever. And I'm in the zone and I'm enjoying it. That's the whole point of games most of the time. It's an escapism, right? We need those escapism. But we don't, it's always a balance. Truly, it's always a balance with these things. But then when things get a bit too frustrating in the game, I don't have to be so attached. That is when I can detach and be like, yes, I am the player now. I am not the game character. And it's flicking through when it is appropriate. So this example is what I'm trying to say in the sense of having your interactions with other people. Little bit of healthy competition is fine. Knowing that they are not you and you are not them, you are unique and individual, and you can operate like that at appropriate times, but then also knowing at a higher state of consciousness that it is all within your reality and your dream and your experience, and everyone is the same in the sense of oneness and wholeness, not as individual sense of selves. It's not an easy concept to get your head around, but the universe and just the way things and reality works is often paradoxical. I mean, I did release a video on quantum physics, and it's the idea of, can a particle be a wave or a particle, and it can't be both, and that would be paradoxical, but it is, as Oppenheimer says in the film, at least his film character, not the actual character. So that is how it works, but there's a balance to it all. So I've gone a little bit off topic just to bring it all back in, that when you are operating from comparison with other people, when you are, we'll continue talking whilst showing this, when you are operating from a state of lack, you do not have a strong self-concept, and that is unfortunately ego, because ego operates in fear. It operates in lack. It clutches onto the outside external world to ground your vessel into thinking that that is all there is, when it truly isn't. You are all that is. It's all coming from you. You can have the same experience happen to multiple people, and they will react differently. They will react differently. And I'd like to say that so long as you have a stable state of mind, okay, maybe not stable, that might not be the right word, but so long as you have consciousness and common sense within a societal agreement, and you understand that, with your free will and your instincts, you know whether you are operating from ego or self-concept. You know what is right or wrong. You have an internal North Star guiding point, truly. We all have a sense of what is good and what is bad. Despite, throughout the times of our human history, we've labelled as a society what is good, what is bad. There were times when slavery was normal, now it's not. There were times when a lot of things will appear to be good, but now it's not, and vice versa. But you have to trust your instincts. You have to trust your internal intuition over intellect. Sorry, the video cut off a little bit, but I was watching an interview with Cillian Murphy, and I love it so much. He always says, in this video, instincts. Instincts over intellect. And I do believe in that. It's so easy to rationalize pretty much anything. I mean, look at the history of philosophy in the West. Look how many philosophers have come and argued so many different points of view, and if you stuck to it long enough, you could convince yourself that they're right until you provide that same dedication to another philosopher. Because you can always rationalize something, but to feel something, you can't change that. Not entirely. You can manipulate it a little bit, but there's an internal North Star. There's something. When you have a gut feeling about something bad is about to happen, and then it does, you've got some guidance within you, from your higher self, or from God, or from just a belief in yourself, whatever it is, there is something there. And that is how I want to tie up this free flow talk, with this idea that self-concept and ego, you know the difference. Truly, you don't have to ask anyone. You should be honest with yourself and know. And from that awareness, operate accordingly. Now, I've recommended 2 channels, Joey Lott and Eric from The Power of I Am, and I had a subscriber raise the question of, they both operate the same teachings but in different ways. Joey Lott is focusing more on peace and self-love in the sense of we are lucid dreamers, we are consciousness dreaming. And then Eric is more focused on self-concept in a masculine way, and it's very much no one compares to me, no one's better than me, and that can be seen as an ego thing as well. But it's not, if you look at it in a way that it's like you are allowed to get the experience of being all that is, being prioritized, being loved, being chosen. That's not an ego thing at all. As so long as you know that that is also accessible to everyone else. And that's it. And you wouldn't have that mindset if you believed in competition and lack. That's what I'm trying to get at. Everyone is entitled to have the exact same experience as them, as consciousness dreaming their dream, knowing that we are all wholeness and oneness, paradoxically, but we are all experiencing individual points of views for a reason. So honor that individuality, honor that uniqueness, embrace your authenticity, follow your instincts in your reality, in your dream, in your story. But you don't need to compare to other people and feel that separation as something that is going to obstruct yourself. And you don't need to obstruct them either. But it's knowing that ultimately we are all one, limited for a reason, and embracing it. I hope I made sense. This free flow talk has been a bit... I don't plan these things, so to speak, because I just want it to be natural and organic and just say what's on my mind. But truly, I hope this helped. How to differentiate between self-concept and ego. Now, I would like to make this disclaimer that I am by no means claiming to be knowledgeable in everything, except that I am in the humble pursuit of wisdom. Maybe there's more to speak about on this. Maybe I can intellectualize in a lecture. But I just want to make a point that these free flow talks are just me saying stuff that is coming out of my mind, but then I do make the time to intellectualize concepts through the lectures. So this channel gives a bit of both. But I thank everyone's support on this journey, and I hope we continue to learn together. If you'd like to work with me, all my links are in my description. And for that, thank you for watching.